Good morning. Shane Van Vliet with Nutrien, Western Illinois Division. Sitting here with Trev Nelson at Princeville, Illinois. And we've just been discussing what's going on this year. This is probably the driest part of our division. And as we move into fungicide and we're pulling tissue tests, some things are jumping out of us in the field. Some things are showing up on tissue testing. I just wanted Trev to speak a moment on how he's evaluating conditions, tissue tests, and making a plan for his fungicide application.
Yep. So, my name is Trev Nelson here at Princeville. We've had a very different type of a situation here at in our location here in Central Illinois, and we're very very dry. And one thing that we're kind of thinking about doing now is we know that we're drought stressed right now. It's getting really really bad. Our hills are dying. They're starting to turn blue silver color. And before we let the rest of those headlands go, and we need to be making sure that we're foliar feeding these crops. We know that a rain has hopefully got to come here at some point, but understanding how we have to prolong this crop to survive the drought and hang on to every bushel that we possibly can is going to be huge. The markets, they're going to be what they're going to be, but we've got to bring something new to our growers and bring a good fertility program with using some of our foliar nutritionals and making sure that we're getting absolutely every bushel out of this corn. And Shane and I were sitting here looking at some of our tissue tests, and it's unbelievable, specifically in our area, how deficient our crops are in potassium. And potassium, as we know, nitrogen, potassium, and sulfur are the three trucks that are moving up and down the interstate, and they're the ones that are carrying all of our nutrients up and down the plant. And potassium is the most mobile nutrient in that plant. And not only that, it is a nutrient that will naturally protect the plant from diseases. It's kind of like a copper. We have a lot of pumpkins around here, as some know, but it's kind of like the copper products that we use to naturally use a nutrient to protect the plant from disease. But going back to these tissue tests, there is a huge majority of these plants that are deficient in potassium, and we've got to address them. There's no doubt about it, and it's going to be a serious issue. It could potentially be an issue that costs you 15, 20 bushel when the combine's going through it. And it's really bad when you can just drive around and see that these crops are deficient in the potassium. It's a pretty big stave in the barrel, and I think we're going to start spraying more and more and more of Maximum Impact K just to keep our mobility of these nutrients within the plant mobile, keep them going.
Sure. So, there's a couple different, a lot of people have potassium in different forms, and as Trev and I talked, when you talk about potassium acetate, it's a very good option, right? And yep. So you're putting that in, and you've got that ability to apply that in a Maximum Impact K with a little bit of slow release nitrogen. So that will be a part of your fungicide application then, Trev?
Yep, and the Maximum Impact K is a somewhat unique product because it does have the slow release nitrogen in it, and man, without having any moisture in our soil profile and getting into our plant, we're just deficient, and we need a little sniff of nitrogen to keep things moving and keep that plant happy and healthy and growing. And then the potassium and the potassium acetate is just driving those nutrients into the plant. And another, if you got any rise or any sort of foliar nutritionals or even the Radiate Next, everything that we do with the Maximum Impact K is driving all the other nutrients that we're going to be spraying with the Maximum Impact K into the plant.
Sure.
And so with like Nutrien Complete, we have the inositol, and I've always sold both of those products, Nutrien Complete and Maximum Impact K in tandem, because you have the inositol and you have the acetate, and the inositol is helping the Max Impact K, and the acetate is helping the Nutrien Complete drive those into the plant, make them usable to the plant.
Yep. Yeah, well, very good. Appreciate your time this morning, and sounds like you guys got a good plan. Hopefully, Mother Nature can work with us here, give us a little bit of help also, and
Yeah,
be on our way to some better crops here this fall. So, thanks
absolutely.
for your time.
Good luck, fellas.
Appreciate it.